Hello, hello, hello. It is Dr. G. Today we're going to talk about podcasting. Surprise, surprise, surprise. So I wanted to get going talking about 3 ways to benchmark your brand new podcast. So you have done all of the work. You have basically gotten your baby from a concept to an actual show. You are fired up because now you have your episodes, you have all your stuff together, and you're ready to roll. And you're thinking, wait, pump the brakes. What can I do here? How can I benchmark the progress? How can I know if the show is successful? Well, there are definitely some questions you can ask yourself. You can potentially benchmark your success and your progress by numerics. So some people do that. I will tell you that that is only a portion of the story and a portion of the picture. And so, yes, having a ton of downloads is fantastic, but having a dedicated audience that you are serving is paramount. Because guess what? Podcasting listeners are very committed individuals. They have dedication and allegiance to their shows. And so if you're bringing it, like I know you will, if you're bringing it every single week or every other week or however it is that you're distributing your content, then you will make an immense impact and you will have a loyal tribe. So speaking of tribes, we'll get into that in a little bit. But so then you might be saying to yourself, okay, I started my show. I'm building my tribe. I have my tribe, whichever it is, a situation for you. And now you're thinking, well, if I'm not focused on downloads, what am I going to focus on? What are going to be these benchmarks? So I was watching something the other day. Actually, Buzzsprout did a phenomenal podcast where they talked about, so what are some questions you should ask yourself? And, one of the questions that they asked, that they said you should really ask yourself when you're considering what the benchmarks are for your show is essentially, sexy yay or nay. And me and my titles and my little titles, but sexy yay or nay. So my subject matter, is it sexy yay or nay? Now, that's not to say that if you have a show that is very niche specific. So if you have a show that is, I don't know, this is random, but people who love red bows. Okay. So I don't know how many people there are love red bows, but perhaps there are a different number of people that love red bows than actually like red bows that are plastic. And so that may be a smaller group versus someone who, versus the topic of, say, budgeting or money management. That would be a big topic. That's a popular topic. A lot of people are interested in that. So your topic can be sexy. It can be sexy to a large number of people. It can be sexy to a smaller number of people, but you kind of have to figure out, whether what you're talking about is of value to your tribe. That's basically what it boils down to. So my tribe might find something sexy that another tribe may not find sexy. So that's where the sexy yay or nay comes in. And literally the popularity of the quote unquote popularity depends on that, right? So if you have a big subject area that is very popular to the masses, then yeah, of course, you're going to get lots of people listening, but that does not necessarily mean that you're going to get the power of the listener like you might get in a more niche down topic area. So I hope that makes sense. So that's what I mean by sexy yay or nay. The next one is first impressions. Do they count? Do first impressions count? They absolutely do count. No matter what, even though we say, let's not judge a book by its cover, blah, blah, blah. But we do judge books by their cover. We do look at something and the packaging matters. That's why there's a whole field called marketing that basically designs things to attract your eyeballs. So the same thing is true for your show. So the things that you want to make sure that you have maximized are, number one, you want to have amazing show art. And so you want to make sure that your show art is going to be popping. It is going to be something that is going to attract people to listen to your show. It's going to be a scroll stopper, kind of like when you're making a post, or if you're on Instagram or something like that, you want your post to be eyeball attractive and show stoppers, scroll stoppers. And so the same thing is true for your show art. So you can get your show art done many different places. You can use 99 Designs. You can use Fiverr. I have a company that I use, and a lot of the people who are in my podcasting course utilize. And so you have many options for your show art, but you need to make sure that that is popping. And honestly, I honestly think that people are more attracted to faces. So if you have your wonderful face on the show art, that can make all the difference, because what does that do? That makes it very personalized. That makes people drawn into you, right? And that's what you want. So you want to make sure your show art is fantastic. You want to make sure that your audio quality is high. So you want to make sure that you're not recording like the audio from your laptop in, the microphone that's built into your laptop. You want to use at least a headphone microphone that comes with your telephone, or you want to use an actual mic. You want to do that. You want to make sure your audio is on point, because that's what podcasting is. It is audio. It is very audio specific, and audio needs to be maximized in order for you to make a good impression. Okay. And then creative titles. So having a creative title is another thing that's going to be a eyeball attractor. And that's what you want. People are scrolling, and there are many, many shows. If you have a really cool title, it's going to draw attention. It's kind of the same thing like with your social media posts. You want to have something that's going to attract people to stop the scroll and pay attention to you. So first impressions do indeed count. And I gave you those 3 things that can help you to enhance that first impression. And then the last one is tribe size. So your tribe size makes a difference. So you cannot compare yourself as a new podcaster to somebody like Michelle Obama. So Michelle Obama released her podcast on Spotify this week. Now, Michelle Obama has a ridiculously awesome amount of people who are following her. So of course, she puts out an episode and you have like 1 million downloads. So you cannot compare yourself to her, because unless you have a massive following, you're not going to get that kind of exposure. You're not going to get that kind of response. And so you have to have realistic expectations. And at the same time, you could do some things. You can literally leverage your people. You can leverage your friends and family. You can get momentum going. You can do some things to kind of get your exposure up. But please don't do the comparison game. It's only going to make you depressed, and it's not worth it, because it is not fair for you to compare your day one to somebody's end of chapter or middle of the book. It just is pointless. So just don't do it. All right. So the 3 ways that you can benchmark your brand new podcast is: think about whether your topic is sexy, yeah or nay. Doesn't matter if it's not sexy to the masses, as long as it's sexy to your people, because they're the ones that are going to be served by your show. They're the ones that are going to benefit from your show. They're the ones that are going to give you the positive feedback and allow for you to continue to serve them, right? So they're the most important. And then number 2, first impressions, do they count? Yes, they absolutely do. Make sure your show art is on point. Make sure that your audio is on point, and also make sure that you have some pretty creative, topic lines or taglines for each episode. Okay. I had to adjust my headphones because they were about to fall off. And then number 3 is tribe size. So please, 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 please serve your tribe. If your tribe is 50 people, then awesome. Work and make that tribe thrive. Don't compare yourself to people like Michelle Obama or Joe Rogan. Just don't do it, because it's only going to be self-defeating, and it's going to be non-productive, and it's going to make you unhappy. And we don't want you to be unhappy. We want you to be happy so that you can continue to bring your awesomeness, your zone of genius to the world. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. If you are interested in my company that I have, we do show art. If you're interested in that, definitely let me know. You can send me a DM, or you can drop a comment below saying interested in the show art, and I am happy to give you that information. The other thing is, if you're on, I have to always remember all the things that I'm supposed to announce. If you're on Facebook, please share the broadcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you greatly. If you're on YouTube, please make sure that you subscribe below and you share, like, comment positively. I greatly appreciate that. All right, so have an amazing evening. I'm going to go take a nap so I can go to work. Okay, so this is Dr. G, and I hope that you will be strong, be brave, and unleash your greatness.